Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has shared in a brand new interview that Ripple is open to the idea of destroying their own XRP holdings. Well, how about that? That's rather fascinating. So I want to talk about this, potential reasons why, what impact it would have on you and the market, and a number of other things, including some comments on this topic from Ripple CTO David Schwartz, who is also co-creator of the XRP ledger. But I do want to be clear at the outset, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast making YouTube videos all up on the internet, and that's all that's going on here. And so here's a headline from crypto media outlet You Today. Ripple CEO, so that'd be Brad Garlinghouse, of course, on burning XRP escrow, quote, "I don't rule anything out." Interesting is this not? Because look, this idea has been bandied about within the XRP community for a number of years, and a lot of people have this opinion that it's a major problem with the SEC case, and the SEC going after Ripple. So the impending lawsuit, well, not the impending lawsuit, the lawsuit's occurring. It's just that the court proceedings haven't actually begun. There's just pre-trial motions and stuff like that. Now, I don't think that that's a factor, but I'll get into more of that in just a second here. So the piece begins as follows. In a recent interview with Thinking Crypto, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse said that he was open to new ideas when asked about burning XRP tokens that are held in the company's escrow. And here's a quote. "I'm always open to and interested in new ideas that are good for the XRP ecosystem. I don't rule anything out." And so Garlinghouse also mentioned that it did not make sense for Ripple to dump XRP, dismissing such accusations as misinformation. Now, I've talked about that so much on this channel. I'm going to try to not destroy that FUD. I've done it so many times. I'm tired of doing it, damn it. But as far as Ripple getting rid of it, like, why would they do that? So first, to the people that think that this would be some sort of benefit in the case, the SEC versus Ripple, claiming that Ripple has sold XRP as an unregistered security. I'm certainly open-minded. I always want to be open-minded. I'm not convinced of that. You're going to have to make your case to me because I haven't seen anything to indicate that. I've seen literally nothing from the SEC that indicates one of the reasons that they're going after Ripple is because of their large holdings. Now, in legal documents, it's been cited what Ripple's holdings are. The SEC has cited that, but they have not made a claim that I'm aware of that indicates that that's some sort of problem for the SEC in determining whether or not it's a security. Because I don't care if they have 5 XRP or 11 billion XRP. I don't care what the number is. It could be a higher number than 11 billion, like flibbity flobbity. That's a really high number. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is the XRP being sold as an investment contract? Does it represent a securities transaction? That's at the core of the case. The quantity of the XRP they hold does not change that, whether it's factually true or false. Doesn't change it one bit. So if you've seen the SEC state that, and I actually missed it, perfectly fine. I'd love to highlight that in a future video, and I'd be happy to credit to you. I haven't seen it, though. So to me, I think that argument's a big nothing. I see all the time, though, people in the community cite that. I just respectfully disagree. I don't think that's a factor at all here. And so then you could say, okay, well, what about in terms of XRP adoption? Like, wouldn't it be better for Ripple just to not have as much? I've heard that idea bandied about as well. And so my question to you is, why? No, seriously, flesh out your case. Explain to me how the quantity of XRP held by Ripple, and I'm open-minded here, I'm willing to be persuaded, but why would the quantity that Ripple holds affect adoption of XRP in general, whether through Ripple's on-demand liquidity, utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, or with any other use case that other developers building on top of the XRP ledger are going for. And so, I can try to make a case for that. I don't know that, I can definitely make a case. I don't know that it's very strong, but you could make an argument that, there could be some developers that are a little turned off by building on top of the ledger, since the price in theory could be impacted negatively by Ripple if they became bad stewards of the XRP ecosystem, dumping a bunch of XRP. Every time it came out of escrow, if they just unloaded it every single month after month, 100% of it, and it wasn't based on volume of the XRP ecosystem, you can make the argument. Now, first of all, I still don't think that's going to happen because that would not be good for Ripple. It'd be like shooting yourself in the foot. They have the most to lose because they're the largest holders of XRP. So I just don't buy into that concept. But there could, in theory, be people that are turned off. There's so many people building on top of the XRP ledger, though. I'm not convinced that's a problem. I'm just saying you could make that argument. And then you could say, well, wouldn't it be good for the XRP holders? What if all of this XRP was burnt? Would this be good for you? Yes, you listening to this little XRP holder. Not in any sort of measurable way. I'm not convinced. And let me articulate why. So you might think, so let's say, okay, let's just say that Ripple they have a little bit, what do they have? Well, actually, I can't remember what the number is now. Let's just say it's half the supply. It's somewhere in the neighborhood of half the supply, plus or minus. Maybe it's a little less than that at this point. I can't remember. Or maybe they're escrowed. Maybe it's just the escrowed amount is a little under half of the total XRP supply. I honestly can't recall off the top of my head. It doesn't really matter. Let's just say that it's half. And then you could make the case, well, what if they didn't have any of that? That would make the price of XRP skyrocket. And I say no, with a caveat. Because look, if that news got people excited, I will cede this point. It's possible that XRP could just go on a tear just because of the news that just came out of nowhere. People are all excited. Now, usually news doesn't impact the XRP ecosystem, so I'm not necessarily convinced of it, but it could. It could make people rally, but then it would just crash back down at some point because nothing would have fundamentally changed. And because here's what's more important. Yes, there's some sort of psychological impact in everybody's mind, knowing that there's a max supply of 100 billion, knowing how much XRP Ripple holds, but that's not of that much importance. That's not of that much importance. You know what is of importance in terms of determining what the market price of XRP is? I'll tell you right now, it's how much is in circulation and how much is available for sale on exchanges. That's it. So we're talking about how much of it is actually liquid. And because think about this. People outside of some sort of news story like I just said, like, oh my God, we're all excited. Let's just flood the XRP market and snatch it all up. Let's go in a buying frenzy. Outside of something like that, it's just supply and demand dynamics, which is no different than with any other cryptocurrency, regardless of the whatever the max supply is. It's about what's available for sale in the moment. Because look, there are only so many people in the market of cryptocurrencies in general right now, and they can fight for what is available. So right now, Ripple's holdings are not available in the market. The escrowed XRP not available. If it were burnt, destroyed forever, nothing changes. It's a net zero. It's still not on the market, right? So nothing would immediately change in terms of supply and demand. You could make an argument, and this is totally rational, that the price of XRP over time will be higher than it otherwise would have if there's less XRP, because that XRP, if not destroyed, would ultimately, in theory anyway, make it out into the ecosystem. And so then, yeah, of course, I'm just saying immediately, right now versus right now, if there were no escrowed XRP, makes no difference. In terms of supply and demand, makes no difference. The same amount is available for sale in the market. That is what is most important. And Ripple actually, they shared this. I don't really want to read through this, but I'll just highlight this. This is from May 16th, 2017. This is Ripple's official blog series, Ripple Insights. And what's on your screen right here is Ripple's 30-year distribution plan of XRP. Now, has it changed since then? I haven't seen an update from Ripple. Like, they posted this almost 4 years ago. I've not seen an update from them. I'm going to assume that there have been enough moving parts that have changed that this isn't exactly how they envision this unfolding, but they've thought about the long-term distribution of XRP. So if they keep putting it out into the ecosystem, that would impact a price over the span of 30 years versus if that just stopped existing and could never get into the ecosystem. Totally acknowledge that. I'm just saying in the short term, it's not going to help you. If you're a long-term holder for decades and decades, yes, that should help you. So the answer is it's a nuanced answer, really. It doesn't help you in the short term. In the very long term, it would help you as an XRP holder if you're going to hold XRP for decades and decades, and that's assuming, of course, that it continues to be adopted over the long haul. Would they actually do this? I would. They might. It's not unprecedented. Stellar Development Foundation burned a bunch of their XLM, which I'm going to briefly talk about here. And their reasons, they wrote a whole blog about how they did it. And they didn't really flesh out the reasons why. They basically vaguely stated in this document, here's the official document. I'm not going to read this either because the video will go way too long. But they effectively stated, hey, we just want our holdings to be in line with our place in the ecosystem. That's effectively what they said. I'm like, okay, but the reasons. And they never said. You ask Jed McCaleb, why did we do it? He'll send you this blog, which he's done at least once. I had it pulled up before I recorded this video. I read through it. But it doesn't tell you anything. So I don't know what the rationale would be. So I'm not ruling it out. Would Ripple do this? just to get rid of the stupid arguments against them? Maybe. I'm not convinced it's going to matter that much in terms of XRP being adopted. Either it's a great business idea or it's not. I just don't think the holdings matter, because even if they get rid of a ton of their holdings, you could still say they're a huge player, and they still need to be a good steward of the XRP ecosystem. So I don't know. And these numbers are all arbitrarily chosen. Like, how much is too much XRP for Ripple to hold, if you think it is too much? Now, for me, I've always known this was a situation. I personally have never cared. I haven't given a damn from the beginning. I just thought, oh, okay, so they have a ton. They won't dump it, because if they did, it would destroy them. It would erode trust. It would harm the market price in the short term. It would be a negative thing for Ripple. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and have trust until I'm given a reason not to trust. So, and that's where I've been going. So even if they burn it, I'm like, well, what functionally changes? They do need to have a bunch of XRP, though, because as on-demand liquidity gets built out, they need to be able to manage that liquidity. They need to offer the lines of credit with their software, which is also called line of credit, which is confusing, I think, but that's what they call it. And so take a look at this piece, though. This is from December 4th, 2020. Ripple CTO says community could force the company to burn 48 billion XRP. Oh. Ripple Chief Technology Officer David Schwartz has admitted the company could be forced by validators to burn its 48 billion XRP tokens, regardless of if it agrees with the decision or not. The company currently holds half the total XRP supply and has come under fire from the community for selling off tokens in the past, although it resolutely refuted claims of price manipulation and has stopped the practice in recent times. Yeah, well, I mean, it was more about volume, and so if they feel like there's enough liquidity out there, then they don't need to sell XRP. So, I mean, there's a case to be made, like, with the current state of things, Ripple has substantially more XRP than they need for their business model, and even as a funding mechanism, they got substantially more than they need. So if it'll get rid of an argument, maybe if they actually would burn it at some point just to get rid of the argument, but without having any sort of inside baseball information, I don't know what the other pros would be of that. I've not heard them articulated. So I don't know if there is a strong case necessarily. If there is, fine. It'd be neat if I ever learn about it. I'll be happy to make a video and talk about it. I find it fascinating, but I don't know that there's that strong of a case. Maybe they just do it anyway because it would be of negligible improvement and it doesn't matter. So maybe they would anyway. But I want to continue with this, though, because there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about here. In a Twitter thread, Schwartz confirmed that the community could vote for Ripple to burn their entire supply of XRP tokens, stating that the blockchain is, quote, very democratic. And here's a quote: "There would be nothing Ripple could do to stop that from happening." So this is the actual tweet right here. If this scares you, don't worry, I'm going to calm you down. I'm going to just back off that cliff edge. So somebody wrote the following. Unrelated question: if nodes, validators, and the community at large got together and we agree that it's better for the community to burn the 50 billion XRP Ripple has in escrows, would that be possible? David Schwartz responded, yes. There would be nothing Ripple could do to stop that from happening. Public blockchains are very democratic. If the majority wants a rules change, there is nothing the minority can do to stop it. Now, this is true of any decentralized cryptocurrency platform that I'm aware of. If there's an exception, fine, make it known. Happy to talk about it. But this is how it works. And so that could sound scary to you. Like, wait a minute, so couldn't they just vote to get rid of my XRP? Yes. The short answer is yes, but you got to think here. Good luck. First of all, good luck getting 80% of validators to agree on that, and then they'd have to believe. Like, think about this. They have to believe that's good for the ecosystem. But in reality, what would happen? If doing that erodes trust, that would be bad for the ecosystem and bad for them as stakeholders within the system, so they're not likely to do it. And so you could be like, but if it's even possible, why would anybody want to be involved in cryptocurrency in any capacity? You could just lose. Well, you could lose your cryptocurrency. To which I'd say there's no guarantee of anything in life. Think about fiat currency, for example. Couldn't a government just seize your United States dollars or whatever fiat currency you have? Couldn't they go ahead and debase the currency, which is tantamount to a tax, just print it into oblivion? They could do that as well. That's kind of like tax. It's effectively the same result as tax. And they could also outright just increase taxes. That's another way that they can get more money too. So there is no guarantee in life, but we have to live with some level of trust in general with the people that we live with. And if you stop liking the system and trust gets eroded, then there will be some other decentralized platform out there that'll say, hey, sorry you got burned, come on over here. So I find it infinitely unlikely that's going to happen. But, a cryptocurrency is only decentralized insofar as it does what the majority of participants want it to do. That's it. That's how it should be, though, right? It's a voting system, and it's baked into the code, so everybody is aware of the rules. But again, it's highly unlikely something like that would happen. Just like it's highly unlikely that out of nowhere that your government is going to take your money. But even that has happened before. Have you ever heard about bank bail-ins? When there's a run on the banks, how about that? It does happen. Nothing is guaranteed in life. So I don't think that that's a good argument to not to be involved in crypto. I mean, there are much better arguments to not be involved in crypto. Like, for instance, Dogecoin or Ethereum Classic. I'm kidding. I know some of you hold that stuff. Actually, I hold Ethereum Classic, and I think it's awful. It's purely like a speculative bet. It's garbage. It's complete crap. I don't think it's going to be here if you fast forward another decade, but who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. And so then there was also, there was this here. There's a tweet that was deleted, so I can't read it. The account's been suspended, but David Schwartz responded to it and wrote, "Too bad XRP is decentralized, or someone could just burn half the supply and raise the price to 29 cents. Now, that is a dig at Stellar Development Foundation for burning a whole bunch of their XLM tokens, Stellar Lumens. And so it sounded like David was really making a dig there. That was from November 8th, 2019. I've never understood it. I would legitimately just have to ask him. Like, I don't know why. Because the same is true of XRP. Like, you can burn XRP, and even David acknowledges that. And so I don't know why he said it the way he said it. Jed McCaleb, a co-creator of XRP and also a creator of Stellar, jumped in and wrote, "WTF are you talking about? Ripple Labs can burn half the XRP supply," and that is true. Somebody named Goop jumped in and wrote, "Excuse my ignorance, is it not written into the code of XRP that it cannot burn any of the 100 billion XRP? And David Schwartz responded here, "You can burn XRP by paying it as a fee or by sending it to an account whose public key hash has insufficient entropy to have a corresponding private key anyone could ever find." And so really the easiest way is the first thing that he said there, was just because, look, there's a cost for transacting on the XRP ledger. A tiny fraction of a penny's worth of XRP is burnt with every single transaction. Because each individual of XRP, each individual unit of XRP is called a drop, and there are 1 million drops in every single XRP, so it's divisible by 1 million. And so if you want to pay a greater fee than the lowest that you have to, which would be a fraction of a penny, you could do it, and then all that XRP would just magically be gone. That's it. So you can definitely do this. So then it just goes back to, would this benefit Ripple? Would it benefit the XRP ecosystem? The strongest case I could make for benefiting XRP holders is what I cited earlier, which is over the long haul, if that XRP is burnt and cannot be distributed over a span of decades, yeah, that would be a benefit in terms of price action for XRP holders. In the short term, not going to amount to a hill of beans. It'll be a big nothing in the short term, so matters a little bit. But that's about it. So, interesting conversation here, is it? Now, I don't know if they're going to do it, and I'd love to hear some arguments as to why they should or shouldn't. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Did I nail it? Am I missing something? Hopefully I knocked it out of the park. You can call me Slugger if I did, but I'll wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.